All right, we're live on Rapzilla.com. I'm sitting here, Tyler Burns here once again with another artist interview. This time we got a young brother, up-and-coming artist, solo artist. You probably have seen him with the Still Trail Christians. Probably seen him on 106 in Park. And now he's stepping out for a solo album, come out today. It's called Moment of Silence. We got the man JT in the building. JT, what's up?
What's up, man? Glad to be here.
Cool, man. So it's the day of the album. Congratulations. The album has released. It's dropped.
It's here.
Cool. Now, what's your album day ritual?
I don't know, man. Like, this is my first solo album, and then when Still Trail released our album Kings last year, we didn't really have a ritual, bro. I'm just so excited that I got a solo project. I don't even know what to do with myself right now.
Yeah. Anything special you did today? You just went around, kept it normal?
Bro, I pretty much just was in awe of with all. I've been on social networks all day. That's pretty much what I've been doing today.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, yeah. So we're just gonna get it in. We're gonna ask some questions here. Now, for the people who aren't familiar with you or maybe didn't know who you were until today, give them a background of who you are. If you were basically put on the spot and someone said, give a paragraph of who you are, give a paragraph of what God has done in your life, how would you put that?
Man, I would say I'm a young guy, man, who was raised in the streets, gave his life to Christ. I knew about church because I always went to church. You know, my dad was a pastor, my mom and my stepdad now became pastors, so it was like no way I could run from church or whatever. But even though I was in church, you know, I was kind of living that double life. I had to go to church. My mom made me go to church. but went to college, dropped out of college, started working, got married, got divorced. And through all this time, you know what I'm saying, I've been a part of a group, Still Trail Christians, man. It's featured on BT 106 in Park, awarded by Obama. You know, and now I'm here dropping a solo project. I think the most important thing about me, bro, is that, you know, JT really I just want to be a voice, man. Like, I feel like there aren't really any strong voices out there right now that's combating some of the things that's going on in the industry, Christian or secular, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I just want to be a voice, so that's where I'm at, man.
Cool. Now, but just want to throw this out there. We got some people that are tuning in now. If you're tuning in, leave your questions on the Rapzilla.com link. You also tweet us at Rapzilla on Twitter. We'll be getting into some of your questions later on, some fan questions. Interact with the man JT. We just got him here for a few minutes, a short window, but he's graciously opened up his time to us. Now, JT, you said there aren't a lot of people speaking on certain things within the culture. What are those things? What are the things that you feel are being kind of pushed under the rug and not being talked about openly, that you feel like God has anointed you to speak on?
Well, I feel like some of the things, and this is no pun intended with Andy Mineo, but you know, I watched the interview with Andy, and he said something about that homosexuality with the thing with I can't remember the guy Macklemore, and that he said he don't feel like that's an open discussion that should be had. That's a private discussion that should be had. Well, my point of view is a little differently because, you know, Macklemore, he's speaking about it publicly or whatever. So I feel like since God has given us all this platform to rap, to be creative, you know what I'm saying, to speak what's real, you know, we should take that opportunity to speak on some of the issues that they expect Christians to be quiet about these issues because it's such a touchy subject. You know, but sometimes, man, you just gotta stand on it. You gotta say what you mean and mean what you say, and not in a way to where it's hurtful or it's hateful, but in a way to where people understand where your convictions are. You know what I'm saying? And because we on a public platform, we're not on a private platform. We on a public platform, and so since God has graced us with this platform, I feel like we definitely need to steward it well, but we also need to stand on our convictions, be very vocal about the things that we believe.
Now, okay, let's talk about the dichotomy here. You're talking about being vocal. The album is called, someone's watching, the album is called Moment of Silence. Okay, so what does Moment of Silence mean? And number one, what does it mean for you as an artist to step out and have your first solo debut album? And then number two, what was the album concept itself?
It's crazy, man. It means a lot, man, because I never thought I'd get to this point. Honestly, I've always seen myself, with a group, doing releasing projects as a group. I mean, we still a group right now, but I'm just doing a solo project. But I never see myself doing my own project. So I feel like it's a good accomplishment, man, for me because I never seen it happening. And as far as Moment of Silence album title, it's because in this album I'm talking about a lot of my testimony, a lot of where I came from, or what I've been through. Like I said, I'm divorced. You know what I'm saying? Um, I have a son. I experienced a lot of things in church. With church people. So this is my time to just reflect. So when a lot of times when you're reflecting, they say let's give each other a moment of silence to reflect. And so this is my reflection.
Cool. Yeah. Now, trying to see where I want to go with you first here. There's so many different ways because listening to the album, I think. Well, let me ask you this. Since you're talking about your substantive place in music, in hip-hop, you're talking about where you fit in as far as addressing certain things.
Right.
What's your place in music? Like, what's your place there? What are you going for? What are you aiming that people hear? Who's your demographic? And you don't have to answer all those questions, but just throwing out some general thoughts here. Who are you going after with this music?
Well, with this music, I like that question, bro. With this music, a lot of my target audiences is inner city, urban community. Honestly, you know what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong; it don't negate everybody else, but I really feel a calling towards our black community and towards because that's a community, honestly, bro, where they not really listening to Christian rap like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the ones, because when I go to the hoods and I got partners and stuff like that in the hoods, them the ones that they haven't heard of a Lecrae. You know what I'm saying? They don't really know them like that or whatever. And so just really reaching out to that community, because I feel like in Christian rap, man, we've almost kind of shied away from that type of music. Like the music that we making now, it's almost for a certain audience. You know what I'm saying? And like a lot of people listen.
Who's that audience? Who's that audience? Would you say?
I would say, man, that audience is more for more contemporary pop. Like we got a station out here in Houston. It's called Engine Radio. I love Engine Radio. They play Christian hip hop, but they're more of a fusion of pop and Christian hip hop. You're not gonna hear them play trap Christian rap, like trap music with a trap beat. You're not gonna hear them play like as much Thizzle as much as they would Andy Mineo. You know what I'm saying? And so like the music that we make or that I make, and some people that I know that make this music, like the Reconciles, like that real trap, hardcore Corey Paul. It's a few people that I know that make that type of music that's really going after people in that community. You don't hear that a lot of music in mainstream Christian hip hop, not at least at the moment. And as far as the music that I'm doing specifically, it's kind of hard to put me in this box because I sing and rap. I just never sung on any of Still True Christian stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so I really listen to a lot of R&B, soul. I like soul music. I like the Temptations. I like James Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Real music.
Yeah, I like that type of music. You know what I mean? And so, and I'm this fusion of if James Brown met. Well, this is what I envision, but I'm this fusion of if James Brown met Tupac. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would happen if Michael Jackson met, I don't know, Kanye? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. So.
Okay, so that's really good to kind of hone in on some of the questions that we have coming up. But again, if you're just tuning in, we're here on Rapzilla.com live. We got the man JT. Get your questions in. We're going to be asking some rapid fire questions a little bit later. You can tweet us at Rapzilla.com or at Rapzilla on Twitter, or you can go to Rapzilla.com story link. So JT, man, moment of silence. You talk about a lot of different things. One of the main things you talk about is your testimony. Now, I'm not going to ask you. You already talked a little bit about your testimony at the top. But what about your testimony since you've been saved? I think there's a misnomer that once we get saved, we don't have testimonies anymore.
Right.
Especially for us as young men in a younger generation. that we don't necessarily have the testimony of the Lord's grace keeping and saving us. What has the Lord taught you since you've been saved, and particularly since you had a huge platform opportunity with Still True Christians? What has the Lord taught you in that season?
Man, the Lord, one thing I say the Lord taught me, he taught me how to really forgive, man. Because it's a lot of stuff that I experienced with church people specifically, you know what I'm saying, that I kind of had to take on the chin and just really pray about, you know what I'm saying, some stuff that I feel like, because like I got partners right now who in the streets right now, and they don't go to church because, you know, they don't want to live a double life. You know what I'm saying? They like, I don't see how dudes in the church and then in the streets. So they do one or the other. And so I think with me being saved, you know what I'm saying, one thing I've definitely learned is how to forgive, bro. Because this industry can be a little dirty sometimes, Christian and non-Christian, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I've experienced some things, we've experienced some things that God really gave us the grace, stuff that we wouldn't walk away from or that we wouldn't let go. He gave us the grace to be able to just let it go and be prayerful about it, man. And so, like, anger, for instance, like, I used to fight a lot when I was unsaved, you know, and I'm not bragging on this stuff, you know what I'm saying, but I used to fight a lot when I wasn't saved or whatever. And so situations that would come, that would transpire, that would cause me to want to turn to that, you know, I turned a different way, you know what I'm saying? And knowing how I used to be, that it would have been a little different in the past. And so, like, situations like that, situations with sex, you know what I'm saying? Like, people think that Christian rappers ain't got groupies or something. Like you got saved women that's throwing themselves at you all the time. You know, I've been told a few times that, hearing stuff like, man, God showed me that you was my husband and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And so being able to just really exercise self-control and stay away from, like, literally run away from situations. I had someone tell me before, a young lady tell me before, she only wants to because it's like forbidden fruit. It's the fact that she can't have it is the reason why she want it. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, man. God has really given me the grace to be able to turn from those situations. Do I hit the mark every time? Have I hit it every time? I haven't, you know what I'm saying, to be honest, or whatever. But, you know, but now, you know what I'm saying, looking back at those situations, those are some of the testimonies, like, where I can be like a dude threw a gram of crack on stage, you know what I'm saying, or through a girl seeing a real genuine Christian dude say no to her when it comes to sex. It really bring her to like, okay, what's up with this God you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that.
That's good, man. Yeah, if you just tune in again, we got JT on the line here live at Rapzilla just for a short period of time here. Now, JT, Moment of Silence just came out on iTunes. Now, let me ask you this. If someone's saying, hey, what's the first track I should go to? I know you're going to say, you're an artist, you're going to say all of them. Go hear all of them, right? But what's the one track that you would say kind of encapsulates everything, and it's kind of like the track that you believe is the best representation of the content, the style, the passion, everything that God has graced you with on the album?
Man, that's tough right there. But I think that, if anything, it's a track on there called More Than Gold. And that's the track, and I'm talking about my testimony because I'm talking about my dad. He suffers from dementia, can't move, can't walk, can't talk. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to even see him in that position. I'm singing on that track too, so it encompasses that. I'm speaking about a lot of close friends who are good fathers, because in our community, you don't hear a lot of people, you know, like, give kudos to the good fathers. We only hear about the bad fathers. But there's so many good fathers in our community too that I know of personally. And so I think that track, it encompasses everything, because it's life. It's my testimony. It shows my versatility as an artist, and it's a real good record, man. It's a real touching record. So I think that one would be the one that I would tell people to go listen to.
And I was going to ask you about that one, because I was going to ask also, what was the hardest song for you to write? And I figured that would be a very difficult for you to write and record, especially talking so openly about that. Now, what was, other than that one, what was the hardest song on the record to write, to record, to kind of take you through that process?
Where I record the hardest song on the record. I think the song called "They Gone." It's a song called "They Gone" or whatever that's on the record, and I'm pretty much talking about some of the instances like I was referring to earlier. How honestly, because of church, what would I say? Because of church business, I would say because of church business, because of church logistics, I'll put it like that, that I honestly experienced a lot of hurt in the church, you know what I'm saying, from people that I cut for, like people who I would really, cut for or whatever in the church. And so I think that was one of the ones where I really had to go to a deep place to write, because I'm just releasing. That's my pen writing. I'm really releasing. You know what I'm saying? Talking about this situation, talking about how I wouldn't think a Christian, because keep in mind I'm a baby Christian at this time too, so I'm sensitive to a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, before I really matured or whatever. So when I seen some stuff, I was like, wow. Like when I seen offerings getting taken up, and or not even that, or people who say they're with you, but if you do fall in sin, and it's put on public display, those same people who say they're with you, they're not with you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's the other record where I really went deep into. I'm
Okay.
trying to
Yeah.
other ones, but yeah,
What
those
did you say?
ones.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said I'm trying to think of some others, but those are the two ones that really pop out. And it's this song that's called that I got called "You Know That," and pretty much the chorus goes, "You know that I will always love you more than you love me." You know what I'm saying? And that song is really written from God's point of view. Which when I wrote that song, I was kind of writing it like, if I was God, what would I say? You know that I would always love you more than you love me. Because sometimes, I mean, to be real, we do stuff sometimes that's like, if I was God, I would question, like, man, do you love me? Because I love you, and I obviously love you more than you love me right now. You know what I'm saying? So that song too.
Now you talked a lot about, just in our brief time, about church hurt, church betrayal, church deception,
Yeah.
just the issues that you face in the church. Yet you're not just, you self-proclaim not just an artist or a rapper, but also a speaker, a minister, someone who is a tool to be used by the church.
Right.
So can you talk about how you justify or how you reconcile those two realities, the call of God on your life and also the hurt that you felt being a part of church?
Well, for me, it was growing pains. You know what I'm saying? Like this is stuff that I've been through before, but I've matured from, and kind of come with growing pains. So how I would bring those two things together, me myself, is, I mean, you got to understand your purpose and your lane and your calling or whatever. And I am a speaker, and I am a minister, but I'm a realist too. You know what I'm saying? And so when I go into these, when I do have a chance to get invited and go into ministries to talk and stuff like that, honestly, a lot of people experience church hurt. You ever heard somebody say, "Man, I don't go to church because of the Christians that's in the church"? Like
Sure.
that right there is a statement of someone who's experienced church hurt. Now, I don't. That's not my whole uh, speech, and when I'm communicating to people.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's just relating that some of these things that you've been through, I've been through too, or whatever. And so you just connect that with the gospel. You know what I'm saying? Because the word talk about how they overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. You know, and so that's what that is. That's an infusion of testimony, and but the blood of Christ, the blood of the Lamb, and the gospel of Christ, and how through Him I overcome. He helped me overcome that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, there's a lot of different tracks that we could get in, but there's one track I wanted to talk with you about in particular because it was a very aggressive track.
Uh,
And it's a track called Amen. So you talk
oh,
pretty aggressively about theology and those who would use theology. Don't worry, I'm not going to get you. But so you so you talk pretty aggressively about, and you're very specific about who you talk about. I don't want to necessarily get away for the people who haven't heard the track yet. Can you go
right.
a little bit deeper into the motivation for the track? Was there a specific instance where something happened? Was it a prevailing trend that you have been seeing? What caused you to write a track like that?
Man, it was bro, you are an interviewer, bro. I just wanted to say that first. I didn't see that one coming. That's why. But anyways, so with that track, I've actually ran into a lot of situations with people who I could say, because I was like this at one point too, who are real zealous about more so their doctrine of theology than the gospel. I would say, what they practice, where they practice, what, like, some of these people come off really, really aggressive and almost like they're right and you're wrong. You know what I mean? And so I've ran into a couple of those people a few times. So yeah, some of it was personal experiences, but then it's been two. I think it's been like a trend here recently, which I wrote the track a while ago, but it's becoming even more prevalent now. Like this trend of kind of almost hopping on the bandwagon. You know what I mean? Like, hey, people, oh, this is cool now. Like, oh, okay, well, yeah, let me see what that's about. And I don't make any judgments like what you believe this or you believe that. Well, I'm saying more so, I'm addressing more so the attitude and how you display the gospel, like how you present it, your attitude more so than what you're saying. Because if for instance, if a person who say they go, let's say they practice Calvinism, Reformation, then you got another person who's Methodist, you got another person who's Baptist. Me myself, I understand that there are a lot of theological points where there's a disconnect. You know what I'm saying? Some people believe this, some people believe that. Some things are right, some things are biblical, some things, you know what I'm saying, you just can't get around. But you can't force anybody into your belief. The only thing you could do is show them, and hopefully they see it, and maybe they become enlightened. But you can't force people to believe what you want to believe. And I feel like sometimes, man, especially here recently, you know what I'm saying, it's become a little aggressive.
Yeah, so you think it's a trend though? You think it's something that people are hopping on the particular bandwagon?
Yeah, I think it's a trend.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you there. I wouldn't disagree. But yeah, I wanted to see your answer there. That's good. That's good though. I was curious when I was listening to it. One more song I really wanted to talk with you about is the song called "Warning Shots." Very poignant song. And I think this is a song where you're speaking directly to the street lifestyle.
Right.
And you're speaking on two different sides. Number one, you're speaking on the side of violence. Then on the other side, you're speaking about promiscuity and just being involved in sex, or fornication, however you want to describe it. But on both of those, you're very descriptive and graphic about how, yeah, in particular on one side, right? So you're very descriptive and graphic about how a lot of the things that we run into are actually signs that the Lord is trying to get our attention to lead us to repentance. For someone who's watching, who may see this later, may not be watching right now, who may even see this later, and say, I'm good right now. I'm good. I'm going to turn to the Lord when I have the time to, when I decide to, after I've had fun. You talk about warning shots in life and what that means for us, not just from a song, but also in our lives as well. JT, you there? Hmm. JT, you there? All right, I think we may have lost JT for the moment. He'll probably call right back in, but once again, we're on the line with JT. Want you to get your questions in at the Rapzilla.com story link. Also, you can tweet us at Rapzilla on Twitter as well. JT was just talking about the track Amen, and that's a track off of the album Moment of Silence. Just came out today. It's on iTunes. You can go get it. JT is Still True Entertainment. Branched out, did his own solo thing. So Moment of Silence is his debut solo album. So we're going to wait for him to come back, but go out and get it. What are your questions? What do you think? He's talking a little bit about the trend within theology, especially amongst young people and young Christians of a certain age. So I think that was a necessary point to bring out. Definitely is a bandwagon mentality, but he also rightfully affirmed the fact that many Christians need to address biblical issues but it's just the manner in which we address it, which definitely I don't think anyone would disagree with or anyone would leave to the side or push away. So we're going to get the man JT back on the line here just for a few more minutes before we close out. And again, the album is Moment of Silence from Still Trill Entertainment. You can also check out his web, jtofficial.com. That's where you can find everything about JT. You follow him on Twitter. I am JT. That's I am JT. Yeah. And I think we got him back on the line. JT, you there?
Cool. The last part I heard was the graphicness and the warning shot song.
Yeah, the warning shots, man. So someone who's just basically saying, hey, I got time. You know, I'm cool. Like, yeah. I don't have to turn to the Lord. Like, he talk about the importance of recognizing the warning shots from the Lord.
Yeah, man, because I feel like, man, God, he try to get our attention. And I always tell even some of my partners that be in the street, I'd be like, bro, if God really wants your attention, he gonna get it. You know what I mean? And so I feel like a lot of people, you gotta pay attention to those signs, you know. And like, say for instance, you know, I remember one time I was about to get ready to, you know, I'm in the Lord right now. I'm a baby Christian. Let me say that. But I'm in the Lord, right? And so I'm chilling with this chick or whatever. And she and I had actually no, it wasn't that. Yeah, I was chilling with her, and so this could have went either way, bro. You know, this could have went either way or whatever. And so what happened was my phone wound up ringing, and one of my friends needed me to actually come help them out because they had a flat tire. And right at that moment, you know, and they called me. You know what I'm saying? So it gave me a way of escape out of that situation, you know. And so, like, stuff like that, man, God will give us a way of escape out of situations, out of certain situations, man. Now, some stuff, you know, you kind of blatantly doing or whatever, and God try to protect you from it. But sometimes, man, God trying to get your attention, so he'll fire off the warning shots, bang, bang.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good, and that's really interesting. I thought that was a really poignant thing for us to consider on the album. Just a few more questions. We're going to go rapid fire now. You ready?
Let's go.
What's the last book you read, man?
The last book I read was The Way of the Shepherd.
Nice. Okay. What's in your iPod right now? What you listening to?
Man, Christian Grey, his new project. Oh my God.
Christian Grey new project be making you think you a singer, right?
Bro, it really do.
Now, like, you've actually been on a track, but me, I've never been on track singing, so I be singing at high levels.
Bro, I be like, it's a long way down. No, but Christian Reconcile, I think I'm jamming Reconcile. I like his stuff. Even Andy new EP, I'm feeling that. So that type of stuff. And then I got a lot of old school stuff, so you'll catch me jamming the Temptations or Otis Redding a lot too. And I love worship music, so I'm on that song Oceans real hard right now.
Yeah, still on Oceans, cool, yeah, awesome. Otis Redding's my favorite singer. So
great
really? Minds sing alike. Yep, great minds sing alike, man.
That's what's up.
What's the future looking like for you? How many more albums do you think you can do solo?
I honestly can't really say right now. I'm not really sure. I think because I'm so thankful that God has given me, you know, the gift to write music or whatever. And so I don't know, bro. I know we looking at a free mixtape real soon from my company, Golden Tree Entertainment. I have an artist on there, and we gonna dump out a free mixtape. Not too long from now or whatever. And so that's what we had coming as far as albums. I'm not sure, but I know that Still Trill Christians Kings too. They can look forward to that too.
Nice. Okay, now final question on the rapid fire. What's one issue that the church is not addressing that it should be?
Not addressing that it should be. Ooh. I don't even want to say homosexuality because that's
kind of in our face now, right?
Yeah, it's kind of in our face. We can't help but to get around that. I think that they're not addressing. I feel like, let me be a little more specific. I feel like with the Black culture church, the issue that they're not addressing is the dying youth and young adult ministries, and they almost don't really know what to do about it, honestly. I think that's a real heavy issue because a lot of churches we travel to, the ministries that were like 500 strong are like 30 or 50 now. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know what to do about it. And we sitting there like, we've been here the whole time. Like, you almost need, there's no way you can get around hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's influencing cultures. Miley Cyrus out here twerking somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, hip hop is influential now. And so you almost need it in your ministry. And I think that's one of the things, as far as more specifically Black culture churches. It's a lot of little issues. I can't really think of one. That one caught me off guard.
No, that's a great answer. I think that's the truth right there. So in closing here, as we getting ready to let you go, man, what's something that you want to encourage people with? What's a word of encouragement that you have for people just going through life situations, just whatever you feel, whether it's related to the album or not? What's something you want to encourage somebody with today?
I want to encourage somebody, man. I think I want to say, don't be afraid to have courage. Like, don't be afraid to walk out on what God said, that, and you know that what God said that he told you to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, of course we have wisdom, we have mentors and things of that nature, but don't talk yourself out of what you know God told you to do. And as far as impacting generations and impacting whatever it is God told you to do, whether it's your community, whether it's whatever, man, don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. God is with you. God go before you, just like he went before Joshua, when he was about to go into where he was going to. He said, I go before you. So I want you to know that God go before you.
Joshua, pun intended, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Cool, man. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us, JT. Give them your where they can get a hold of you: Facebook, Twitter, website. Give us all that again. If people are trying to reach you.
Okay, you can follow me on all social networks at I am JT. That's EYE, like your I am JT. And on Facebook, just type in JT. I should come up. And my website, if you want to do some booking or anything like that, jtofficial.com. Let's do this. We're about to change the world, people.
Cool, man. And also get Moment of Silence on iTunes, right?
No doubt. No doubt. Definitely go pick that joint up, man. I think, what you think about the album, bro? Let me ask somebody else.
Yeah, I liked it, man. I thought the main thing that I saw was it's very accessible to people. It's a lot of it sounds that people can connect with, that they're currently experiencing. And I think there's some depth to the album as well. So I think it would be very interesting for the audience that you're targeting in particular, kind of in the trap vein, in the inner city vein, the people who maybe haven't heard Christian music, to pass this to them and then kind of get them introduced to what Christian hip-hop is, and also what the Lord is also. So I think it's a good introductory album, not just for you, but also for people trying to enter into the faith.
Cool. That's what's up, man. That's what we doing, bro. I appreciate that.
No doubt, man. JT, thank you so much for spending some time with us, brother.
All right, bro.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, I am Tyler Burns, Rapzilla.com. We'll see you guys. Peace.
Shout out Rapzilla.
Yeah.
All right.